Before we begin, I'd like to see what you guys already know about World War II. What we'll have to do to show this is edit the presentation I have embedded on the first page of our interactive multimedia lesson. In order to do that, you'll need to be looking at the presentation as you can see here on the screen. Right above the presentation, it says, click here to sign into Google Docs and edit the presentation. On the words click here, you will have a link to Google Docs. When you click that, your information probably will not already be here as I'm doing this on my personal computer, but you can see that you'll need to sign in with your Gmail account for school, and you'll have to include @gmail.com. Then you'll need to put in your password, and capitalization, spacing, and numbers do make the password different. Make sure this box is not checked. This is a public computer, so you do not want to stay signed in. Go ahead and sign in, and it will take you to a list of all your documents. You want to have the one that says 8th grade Techies Prior Knowledge World War II. And it will likely be on a short list, unlike mine, as I have used it a lot. That will open the document. You may see something different if other people have already added their slides. Like I said before, you do not want to repeat someone else's fact, so you might want to look over everyone else's to make sure you don't use theirs. If you don't have a lot of knowledge on World War II, but you know one or two things, don't look at anyone else's because you will word it differently and I will know that. Also, let me know that you didn't mean to use the same fact. I understand that we might not know that much about World War II yet. So as you can see, this is the title slide, and the second slide is kind of an example to show you what I want you to include on your slide. Everyone will have their own slide. At the very top, you're going to have your name and hour centered. Then you will go to the next text box and type your fact centered. You can choose the font and the color and highlight it if you'd like, and I'll show you how to do those things in a moment. Then you're going to hit enter twice and insert your image by URL. I'll also show you how to find that. You'll need to resize your image to make it fill the space that is available, and then below your image, we're going to cite the web page it came from to give credit, so we're not just stealing that image, which is not a fair thing, and that's called plagiarism. As you can see, we're going to do it very simply by typing image taken from and the web page name in size 10 font, italicized, and then we're going to link it to the web page it came from. So what you'll need to do first is go right above the little preview here of the different slides, and you will see a little plus sign. When I hover over that, like a lot of icons, and especially like Microsoft Word and PowerPoint and things like that, when you hover over the tools, they pop up what they do, and this says insert a new slide into the presentation. When I click that, I automatically get to choose the slide layout, and I want you guys to choose this middle one on the first row called text. Just double click it and it automatically opens your new slide. So right here, we're going to click to add title, go ahead and center it, and here is where you can choose a text background color, which is kind of like a highlight, and here you can choose the text color. Make sure it's something that can be read. You know, if I can't read it, then you're not going to get credit. I want you to type out your first name, space, put your last initial, period, because I don't want you to put your entire name on this because it's on the web. Do another space and put your hour of your class. Then we're going to go click to add content, and I want you to again center it. Again, you can pick the same color if you want, or if you want to change it to a different color, if you want to use highlighting, I'll show you how that works. And this is where you're going to type your fact. Now, I noticed that for some reason it didn't hold on to my font color, and that might happen sometimes with Google applications because it's free, it's not always perfect. Just go back and select the text and choose your color again, and it will hold on to it that time. So I'm pretending that I've typed my fact here. I'm hitting enter twice. I'm actually going to change that to 3 times now. So insert 2 open lines. We can always change that later, but this way it'll give you more space. I've already gone onto Google and found an image. As you can see, I just typed in World War II and I went to the images section of Google and looked through what was available. I do not want you to type in World War II to find your image. Your image should match your fact, so it should be illustrating that fact. It shouldn't just be about World War II overall. For this example, I wanted to use something you guys would not use. So I'm going to use this image here. When I click on it, I can see the options to look at full-size image, and I want to do that first. Because to insert our picture, we're going to copy the URL, which is the web address, and that's it right here in the address bar. You have to make sure everything is selected, and you can right-click and copy, or you can use Control and C at the same time, and it'll have copied it. Go back to your presentation. We're going to go to Insert here, Image, and we're going to specify an image URL. Because we're not saving this to our computer, we're saving space. We're just going to paste the URL. You can again use Control V if you prefer, and then click OK, and it will insert your image. Now, if you notice, I don't see my words anymore. Don't panic. All that's happened is that it went on top of it. If you want to save some space, you can always resize this to push your fact up a little bit, and then you can move your image however you want. Like it says on the directions, I want you to resize it so it does fill your slide. We don't want to waste any space, but you also don't want to make it too big. I'm trying to center it with my text so it looks nice. Make sure I don't cover up my text. If you can see, it kind of was covering up the bottom of my Y's, and that made it look a little weird. So those are design aspects you need to pay attention to. Next, we're going to give a citation for the picture. So we have to go back into the text box, which is really kind of behind a layer of the image. So I'm going to go to the end of my fact and keep hitting enter until I see the cursor appear at the bottom. Then I want it to be in size 10, so I'm going to change the size. And we want it to be italicized. And then we're going to, I have to make sure I see my cursor. And italicize it. And I'm going to type image taken from, and then I'm going to go see what the web page title is. Now I have to go back from full size image, and if you can see, we can use the website for this image. No images come from Google. Google just shows us where the images are. So here I can see that the name of the page, I'm going to look up in the, at school we use Internet Explorer. I'm using a different program. So you'd still go to the same area at the top, but yours will show more. And it's in the blue bar all the way at the top. And I can see that the name of this page is Memorial Markers by Davis Products. I'm not going to type that out because it would take a long time, so I'm just going to type web page title, but I want you to type the web page title to give credit to that web page. We're also going to copy the URL because we're going to link it to this page. So I'll go ahead and type out part of that title, Memorial Markers, and pretend I typed out the whole thing because you do need to type it all out. Then I'm going to go ahead and select all those words and go to the word link here because as you can see we can add or remove link. We want it to go to that page if people want to see where the image came from. It says edit link here. The text that will be displayed is what we selected, and we want it to go to a web address. So we're going to paste in the URL. To what URL should this link go? That's the URL of that web page, and we want it to work. You can also check right here, test this link, and you can see it pops up to the correct place. If yours goes to anything that says Google, it did not work correctly. So then I'm going to click OK. Then go ahead and save now, and you're all set. Make sure when you're creating your new slide that you don't accidentally put your slide on someone else's. Good luck, and I'll be around if you need any help.